All right, guys. Today we're talking about another Demko AD-20.5, except this one, as you can see, it is the Knife Center exclusive. It is advertised as being K110 in particular, which is D2. They also said on their video that it is actually K110 and not just some China done D2, some overseas D2. I'm gonna find out. Yes, right off the bat, you don't need to put in the comments, I can't believe that I spent this kind of money for D2. Just get that out of the way. And another thing, I don't know if you're going to be able to see it on the video, if it's going to pick up, but there is a bit of a burr left behind here. It's not a ton of burr, but I am going to, maybe you can see it a little bit right there. Not going to strop it. Going to show it as delivered, what you would expect if you picked one of these up and this is what you got. So go ahead and get to the cutting and then come back and talk about how it did. Just so you guys get a better look at what I'm talking about with the burr. Most of it seems to be rolled over to the left side here, as you can see. So pretty poor sharpening job overall from the factory. Figured I'd show you guys what this looked like before I tell you the results of how this edge cut from the factory. Now that we saw the cutting and how much burr was left over on the factory edge, how I got it, go ahead and talk about it real quick. This is 15 degrees per side. It is not as thick behind the edge as the AUS 10 one is. It's not terribly far off, but this is a little over 20 thousandths behind the edge, 22 or so. So definitely better than the other one that I'd have to measure it again, but I want to say it's in the like 28 thousandths range or so. So just something worth noting. This felt perfectly fine in sharpening. I had no problems deburring it. And I'll be covering the factory, the first sharpening, the third, and the fourth sharpening on this D2. So we'll start out right away. You saw how bad the burr was on the factory edge. Like I said, I cut with it anyway, and it did 38 feet in that 1-inch section. Nothing special. Better than I thought it was going to do with that amount of burr left on it, but 38 feet. Then I sharpened it same as all the others. Like I said, 15 degrees per side. This is 1500 grit diamond finish, strop 5 times on 6.3 and 1 micron on each side. And then I went to the first sharpened edge, and it picked up quite a bit, cutting a total of 116 feet. I sharpened it, cut the edge off of it, sharpened it again so I could go ahead and test the third edge. And on the third edge, it picked up to, starting on the third edge, like always for anyone who's new, this is when I start doing the fine edge, when it quits shaving hair, and then the working edge added to the fine edge for the total amount cut when it quits cutting 20-pound copy paper against the grain. And on the third edge, 89 feet fine edge, 56 feet working edge for a total of 145 feet. For D2, the overall amount it cut, not bad. I would have liked to see that fine edge a little higher. Usually the D2s that cut a little better do a little bit better on fine edge as well. However, it wasn't the case this time. So then I went and sharpened it the fourth time, cut with it again, and on the confirmation test, 86 feet fine edge, 54 feet working edge for a total of 140 feet. Well within the 10%. Maybe I'll come back to this after a while. I did buy this for a specific reason. You guys will see in a few months exactly what that's for. Maybe I'll come back to it like I have on some other knives and see how it does once it has 12 to 15 sharpenings on it. Will it improve? Is it not going to improve? Then maybe I'll go ahead and put a regrind on it and see how it is then. However, we've shown in the past, thickness behind the edge on a non-binding material like cardboard pretty much doesn't have much of any effect on the wear resistance, since there's nothing to bind it when cutting and it's just wearing the apex. Not bad for D2. I still don't think the price point is there for D2 for what you get. I personally would much rather have the AUS 10 version over the D2 here. That one did much better for me as far as initial sharpness, how long the edge lasts, and how many times I was able to strop it back. I will do some more testing with this one like that. I've done a ton of D2 though, even some of the D2 that tested better, and it just does not have that longevity on a strop like something like the AUS 10 does. So if you guys, all of you that wanted to know how this did, this is how it does. I don't know if these are still in stock or not. I do wish I'd have gotten the one they call tan that's actually more of a green than the orange here, but can't go back now. If you've got one of these in the K110 D2, let me know how it's been for you down below. I know they've been out for 2 or 3 weeks now. Enough time for some of you to get some use on them. That's all I have for this one. As always, I appreciate your time, and thanks for watching.